Okay, let's continue looking back at some of our memorable calls. This one is a personal favourite of mine. I've looked forward to talking to this woman for a long, long time, and we eventually got to do it. The woman that is the voice of Wilma Flintstone. She was a treat, wasn't she? Have a listen to the call we had with her. Live on the telephone from Los Angeles is Jean Van der Ply. Jean, hello.
Hello there.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome. I don't mean to correct you, but it's Van der Pyle.
It's Van der Pyle.
Van der Pyle.
Okay, sack the researcher. Van der Pyle. Is that Dutch?
Yes, it is. Holland Dutch.
I thought it was, because you can only get Van Ders in Holland, can't you?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. My grandfather came from Holland with his two brothers
Yeah.
years ago.
Now, people here in England may not know your face, but they'll certainly know your voice and your voices. Because,
Would you like me to do one? Surprise them?
Go on, then, do one for me.
Fred, hurry up and get in here. We're supposed to be on TFM tonight.
How did it come about, Jean? How did somebody just come up to you and say, "We're making a cartoon, we want you to be the voice"? Or was it a little more tricky than that?
In all fairness, my brief history is I was in radio when radio was just like television now, only without the sound, for 20 years.
Yes.
And then when that type of radio, I don't want to say radio died out, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. When
But that-
TV took over.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, all the radio people were just primed for cartoons when they came in, because they, in radio you had to do 3 or 4 voices a show,
Yeah.
or you didn't work. Why
Yeah.
hire 3 actors to do when one could do 3 voices?
Yeah.
You know, same old thing, money, right?
Yeah, all right.
And
Did
so
you get did you get 3 times the wages?
don't I wish? I don't even get residuals. We
Don't
were
you?
way before that time, unfortunately.
Really? So, because I mean, the Cartoon Network, which is on cable and satellite in the UK at the moment, is showing all the Flintstones again. So you don't get any money for that?
No, because I'll tell you why. We have had a few little... Well, I got one check for 74 cents. Does that tell you something?
Really?
No, $11.50 at $10. It was the original series from 1960 to 1966.
Yeah.
This is our 35th anniversary.
Yes.
And the original series, when it was over in '66, they said, "Would you like a buyout?" And they gave it to us at 85%. Well, a buyout meant our union, Screen
Yeah.
Actors Guild, only had told them that we had to pay
Yeah.
for 6 runs of each show.
Right.
Well, you know, come on. Who never knew at that day and age that it would last longer than that?
Absolutely.
I know.
Wilma Flintstone is not the only one you do, though, is it?
Oh,
You've
no,
done
it
you've done a
isn't.
good few.
I've done quite a few.
Who else would we know?
Well, let's see. Do you get the Jetsons over there?
We get the Jetsons, yes. In fact, the Jetsons is one of my favourites.
Well, then,
Who did you do in there?
I will do it for you.
Go on then.
Sorry, Mr. J. The footy record cycle's on the brink again. Never fear when Rosie's here.
Rosie the Robot.
Yes.
I remember that. You
I
must
know.
have had a
I
lot.
also did Mrs. Spacely, and I did Mrs. Slate, the boss's wife, on both those shows.
Yeah.
On the Flintstones, Mrs. Slate. I loved her. She was so fun to do.
Can you do her for us?
Oh, yeah.
Go on then.
Mr. Flintstone, what are you doing here tonight? I don't recall that you were invited.
I love it. You must have had a lot of fun making all these cartoons.
Oh, we did.
And I suppose the outtakes are fun too.
Well, I suppose they have some. Do you know, I have never heard any, but I know they do.
Yeah.
But we had so much fun, and for double reason, it's kind of interesting. I'm the last remaining member of the original cast, and Alan Reed, B. Benaderet, Mel Blanc was Barney. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, the man of 1,000 voices. He was Bugs Bunny and all these Porky Pig and all these other characters. And we had all worked together in radio, and we were so thrilled to be back again doing radio in effect, because we did it the same way. We came in, we picked up a script, we read it over, we went on the mic, and we did it.
Yeah.
And so we were just delighted, and we were already friends to begin with. We knew each other so well. And I kind of think that helped along the the Flintstone thing.
Yeah.
The camaraderie was real.
Yeah.
We didn't have to play act.
Right. Well, it comes across that way, even watching the cartoons today. Did you see the Flintstones movie?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you a secret. I was in it.
Were you?
Yes. But,
Who were you?
well, they cut it out, most of it. What it was, I did Wilma's voice in the character of, what was her name? Miss Felspar, his
Yeah.
third grade teacher.
Yeah.
And it was in the party scene, and unfortunately that was one of the many things they cut. The only thing that was left, if you look real fast, when Elizabeth Taylor says, conga, if you look in the conga line,
Yeah.
I'm holding on to Dino's derriere.
Really?
The old gal with white hair and a black fur and barefoot. That's me.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, everyone around the world knows your voices. Mel Blanc, is he a good friend of yours? Because, I mean, he is known as the voice king for all
yes,
over the world for the voices
he
he's
was.
done.
He just passed away a couple of years ago.
Yes, I know.
And
What was he like to work with?
I beg your pardon?
What was he like to work with?
Oh, he was wonderful fun. He was telling jokes all the time. That was one of the reasons we at rehearsals and stuff we had so much fun.
Yeah.
But in those days, the boys, if they had a joke that was a little off color, they wouldn't let the girls hear it.
Ah, right. So all you heard was screams of laughter and wondered why.
Yes, of course. Bea and I said, "Oh, come on, guys." They said, "Oh, no, we don't talk this way in front of ladies." Oh, gone are the days.
Yes. How's your life now? What do you do? What do you do now to fill your days?
Well, let's see. I came to England to be on some radio stations and television stations a year ago this past summer.
Did you
I
like
loved it. It was my first trip to London.
your first trip? Did you enjoy our country?
Oh, I just loved it. I felt I had walked back into history or a movie set. I thought, I'm really looking at this street.
They do say, I mean, there's a question.